Good afternoon, ladies and gentlemen. This is PSGL, PSTS, Season 31, the F3 Division, round number 11 at Britain, the finale. I am your commentator, Ion Neon, or Jared Fosbury, being joined in the booth by the OAP himself, Mr. Sondre Soaug. Well, Sondre, how are you doing? And look at the weather at the moment, it's chucking it down.
Yeah, I do quite well, just hoping we're actually gonna get this race started, considering the weather, the F1 nowadays,
Yeah.
might have a red flag here,
That could happen. As for some reason, Julian's pulled all the way on the right side of the track for some odd reason, which is interesting. And also to clarify, the constructors and the drivers have been wrapped up as well, so there's none of that to play for. So Mali looks like he will be the first one to begin a lap today. It looked like it was going to be Julian, but he...
Interesting to see, though. Brand is sitting in his pit box, looking at the Inter tires now, Jared.
Yeah, potentially it could lighten up.
It doesn't look like in intermediate tires at the moment, but
no, it's
maybe later in quali.
Yeah, maybe not now, obviously, because it's chucking it down like cats and dogs. But we never know. Maybe in the next 10 minutes could lighten up for possible inters where the crossover point is. But right now, though, if you want to go on board with Mali, as I'm trying to see who would be next, as Julian B has somehow binned it on his outlap, so he is actually out of this qualifying session. Right, so yeah, Mali is the first one.
Mali, though, about to start his lap quite soon now. You want me to follow him on the first lap here, or?
Yeah, if you want to go and follow him, and I'll keep an eye on ASY, who's behind him.
In that case, here we go, Mali through turn 1, very fast, looking very unsteady and shaky through turn 2. Then into turn 3, a very slow corner, once again looking a little bit shaky. Looking like he's having the best of grips, as we can see that Hershey has retired. Now Mali heading out onto the Wellington straight before heading into this long left-hander, completely missing the apex, it looks like. Nonetheless, though, he continues to go out of this right-hander onto the old pit. Start finish straight, then through cops, and it is not flat in these conditions, but he gets through before heading into his iconic Maggots, Beckett's and Chapel combination, as he seems to be getting through quite nicely here. A little unsteady on the exit, but not looking too bad anyway. Then down the hanger straight and into the Stowe corner in one short moment. Let's see then. Not looking too bad, a little counter steering it looks like. Nonetheless, into the final few corners. This last corner can be a bit tricky on traction. You can see it getting a little bit oversteer a few times. But there we go, a 141.6 for the first lap.
Yeah, 141.6 indeed, as I'm trying to go on board with ASY, but he's actually invalidated his run and did a 150, it looked like there, it said. As I'm trying to select a driver who is approaching start finish line, it is the Norwegian I can't say his TSI name for some reason, but I'm just going to call him Volan in the Ferrari. Coming to the line then, it's going to be a 40.3, so he's up there on the time. Definitely. As what about Jabraka? 49.5, so a bit down on the time as Steph. Noah's actually not here. Steph did a 41.8 in the Williams and the McLaren, as Hershey, as we sort of did say, lost it on the final corner earlier on in the session, as ATs and Ferenc are second and third.
I was talking about Mally looking a little bit shaky a few places. ET8 Lewis though, he's looking like he has no grip whatsoever almost. His rear end is all over the place.
We'll go on board with him as he is on a lap. Oh yeah, I see what you mean.
Oh,
He's just drifted
big
it.
oversteer out of Chapel there.
So every corner he's taking, he's sliding.
Oh yeah, he's not looking good at all here. He's looking very shaky. Now let's see then. Final corner can be very slippy. Oh, a little counter steering. Oh, another one. And another one. Not looking comfortable here.
Now all 42 he's set. Although we're going to go on board with Lickle. Currently 13th with no lap time set in the Haas. Cameron though has actually got a lap time on the board with a 42.7 in 7th place, which usually it takes a while to actually get a lap together. Not bad as, oh wow, Voller instantly picks up the pace, so 140.1. Let's see what Lickle can do then.
It says purple second sector for Lickle blocks here. Obviously we know how this F1 game is. Ooh, a little bit of oversteer there.
That was French moves to second with a 40.5.
Let's see then, Lickle out of the far. Ooh, bit of oversteer. 43.3, I believe that was.
That's correct, as Jax moves to 8th with a 42.4. What about Alex Murad? Is he backing off? Yeah, he is. And Cameron's also going to probably be doing another run. Anybody behind on a lap? Is that Zane on a lap? Zane is on a lap then in the Alpha. You have Tori through start. A lot more stable compared to Lewis's car, as we saw him drifting all over the place. Lewis is actually right behind him. As I said, is going to be finishing this flying lap, sliding a bit there. 41.6 goes 5th quickest. Lewis again sliding again. Doesn't improve, but he is on a timed lap now. Going on board with Curtis. Oh, the Red Bull's going slowly through at the exit of Cops, I've noticed. And Sodra, what were you worrying about? Is someone sliding all over the place?
No crash or anything, it was just Steph was looking at about as shaky as Lewis was earlier for a few moments there, so... Nonetheless though, Steph with a 41.7, no 41.4 I believe it was.
Yeah, 41.4, not a bad lap at all.
So... was a little bit shaky on that lap, but nonetheless got in a decent lap in the end.
Lewis though, trying to find the limits of how much he can push in that car.
Well, judging from its first run, didn't look like he could push at all.
And the skies have got a bit lighter, I've noticed, and the rain's not as heavy as it once was. And I saw it snipes. Oh, Lewis yet again sliding through. Oh, there he goes, and he is round.
And he's around.
Aquaplanes. For Lewis there, as he gets it back under control. But I think the inters are going to be very soon, as Snipes is getting the intermediates ready, and Brands kept the inters on. There's Davey. Was that, or was that ASY finishing the lap? 1.7 up on his time.
Finishing, I think, but Davey's on a lap as well.
Okay, we'll keep an eye on that as here comes ASY then, and it's 42.9, goes 12th quickest. Not a bad lap. Brackets invalidated. Voller.
Marlon, I believe, is on the lap.
On board with the champion this season as well as 39.7, so yeah, the intermediates should be coming very soon. And Marlon actually invalidated his run. Oh, and he's really struggling for grip as he's off the track.
Davey out of the final corner. Oh, invalidates in the ball, and Davey's out of quali.
Just as I tried to get on board with him.
similar to how
Hershey.
Hershey went out, I guess.
Yeah, I think it's basically a copycat. Did he ride the curb and spin it? Or, oh, Lickle
Yep.
almost joined him. Well, Lickle's begun his next lap. There's a bit more ERS. I think in the next couple of minutes, people are going to go out on the intermediates, and you can just see there, out of turn 2, Edwards' rear was sliding a little bit. Got to get good traction. Yeah, surely it's not that far from intermediates. There's a Red Bull yet again out of exit of Cops Corner. And Aston lost it where Lewis has. I believe that is Chapel. Ooh, Edwards not liking the wheel spin as he was just getting there. And he's completely off the track. Somehow doesn't get an invalidation. Is he improving though? He's 1.4 up. It's 5 minutes remaining. I think people should pit, and get ready for the intermediates instead of finishing their wet runs.
Well,
And yeah, Edwards
a
in.
lot of the people in the pit looking at the inters now.
That's true. That's why it's gone back around again. Interesting though, Sandra. It has gone back out on wets. Do you think that was a smart decision?
It depends, if it does become inters at any point, then it's not a great decision by him. But if it's still a bit off inters, then it might not be a bad idea, because if everybody gambles like right at the end, then AT might get in a lap in the perfect conditions right before inters on his wets, and could grab pole with it. And if it's still not inters at everybody's last lap, then it could just end up messing up, so it's difficult to say.
Definitely, as we'll keep an eye on that, as a lot more people are going out on the intermediate compound of tyre. Still a couple of people in the pits.
But AT goes right in again, though.
So yeah, so maybe you're right. He was just testing the conditions then, in the end. Who is next?
Well, that's not what I was saying, but alright.
Oh, I thought you were saying that. My apologies then on that. But Brand then, Sandra, if you want to go on board with him, he will be the first one on the intermediates. And it'll be actually his first lap overall in this quali session. As he's getting ready. Oh, almost spins it.
Looks like he's trying to get some heat into the tires. But let's see then. First driver to do a run on the intermediate tires. As we see Brand go through turn 1, then straight into turn 2. Let's see then, what about the braking in turn 3? Looks like he's getting slowed down nicely. Now what can he do on the exit of turn 4 and 5? Can be a bit slippery here if it's not proper inter conditions. Are looking like he's getting good traction down. Heading down the Wellington Straight and into this left-hander. Let's see, missing the apex a bit. Now crucial to get a good run down this old start-finish straight. As we can see that Brand is heading down this straight now in towards Cops. Let's see. Not looking too bad through there. Bit away from the apex. but seems to be getting a lot of pace through the corner before heading into the S section. Then out of Chapel, and let's see, getting good power down. Now down the hanger straight and approaching the final sector in the moment as he goes around Stove. He's looking like he has good grip at least. Locking up a little bit into that corner. Now out of the final corner, let's see, 140.7. So it's not a bad lap, but it's only 4th at the moment.
As I'm on board with Lewis right now, he's apparently 2 seconds up on his time. 39.7 is the time to beat. We saw Brand couldn't do it on his first run. And I believe he's going on his second at the moment. But will Lewis be able to take provisional pole as Medtc's actually retired on the full wets? That's interesting, as Lewis then goes second with a 39.8. So just misses out there. Challenging for Paul Osmond, I believe, was next. He goes third quickest in the end. What about his teammates?
Well, I'm pretty sure we're gonna have somebody beating that pole time now, as Volokongen is heading into Stove. Looking very good on the apex there. Gets a lot of speed through that corner.
Oh, 38.4 from France. You're right.
That's a solid lap from Ferenc, but what about Volokongen then? Heading through the final corner now. Not looking shaky at all. Let's see here. And it is just behind Ferenc, so a very good lap from Ferenc there then.
There's Lickle moves to third with 39.8. What about Zane? He's in a 2-minute 5. He's completely off the pace there. Snipes then goes 17th quickest. What about Toxic? Goes 6th quickest there. So the Hasses doing better qualifying than they usually do. 3rd and 6th right now. Is Brand finishing his lap? Yes, he is, but he isn't on an improvement. He actually is down on his run. Interesting. What about Mali? Quali has now officially ended. So Mali and Lewis are improving. 38.4 could be beaten. 39.4 from Mali there. Lewis goes 4th quickest.
AT heading into the final few corners here now. Let's see them. I see he's gonna finish his quali around the final corner. Ooh, a massive moment.
He still improves.
Over the line into 3rd with a 360.
He moves to 3rd ahead of his teammate, and Frent increases the pace.
And we're gonna have an improvement from Volokongen as well. I'm not sure how big it is though, but let's see. Ferenc Volokongen. Who is it gonna be? Volokongen, and what a lap in the end from him. We do have more drivers on track though, Jared.
Yeah, I am keeping an eye on that. Trying to get ahead of the right driver.
Let's see, Toxic Tomato out of the final corner. What is it gonna be from the Haas driver?
5th.
Provisional 5th from him.
But what about Brand? He's a 2nd up. I believe he will be the last person to set a lap. He is going to be the last person. Will he be able to challenge for it?
Indeed.
Oh, rear kicking out. 6th quickest, 38.8. Wow. What a quality session there, Sondre.
Indeed. Now you will have to excuse me a short moment.
Yeah, sure, that is not a problem. So we will go down the qualifying order then for the race then. So we have Vola on pole position with a 37.8 there, 3/10 quicker than Ferenc in 2nd. Then we have Alex Murad, or CFFR_Murad, in 3rd. Good qualifying from him. And then both Mercs, who won the Constructors this season, it's Samal in 4th and 5th then with Brand then in 6th with Cameron. Best qualifying this season in 7th, beating his teammate Steph in 8th, Lico in 9th. Mali then takes 10th with Lewis in 11th. Jabraka 12th, unfortunately couldn't get a lap together on those inters as he made a mistake on his first run. Snipes in 13th. Then MedTC unfortunately DNF'd on his run, couldn't improve, finishes 14th in quali. Zane 15th, Jax in 16th, and I will go for the rest of the grid when we go starting the race. As remember, there is no formation lap, so it's due to its bug still.
Well, nonetheless, before we move into the race, for one final time this season, Jared, you gotta remember this. GT Omega, PSGL's title sponsor for season 31, leading manufacturer of gaming peripherals, from chairs to cockpits to everything you need, Jared. Now, to find that, you go to www.gtomega.co.uk and you use PSGL at checkout for a 5% discount. And once again, Jared, you need this.
So I'm still slapping you about it, but I've got 20 seconds to the actual session
slapping
starts.
somebody on pad on a game that is so far from good for pad as it is.
A couple of seasons ago, you always used to say I'm just, quicker, better. Tables have turned. Bit hypocritical. But enough of that, as we're about to go into the race
Give me
then.
the same amount of hours on the game as you have and I still slap you.
Have to wait and see. Well then, the race is about to begin. We have clear skies for the final time then. This season, 5 red lights. And we are underway then. Voller has had a decent start, same with the Red Bulls, and same with the Alfa Romeo in the background of Julian. As we're already into one, and the Ferrari holds the lead. No major contact in the background. So I'm just getting all the information up at the same time. As Itis moves to third, going around the outside of Murad. Is he going to make it work? I think he is, and still side by side, and he's through. Moves into third place, and he's on a charge. Already trying to catch up with France and trying to make a move for second. Oh, and he is going for it. Just a quick late lunge there. And he's through in the second already. So he's already made a couple of positions off the start and now already trying to challenge Voller for first. Have I missed any action in the background? Oh my god.
There's been a couple of overtakes, but nothing huge really. We had a Red Bull Med TC and somebody else almost colliding at the beginning, but they got through safely. Oh, and who is that? That is Jax and Jabraka, who's both collided in Beckett's, I believe it was.
Yeah, that is true. As while that was going on, Murad's moved to third, French dropped to fourth, and we have a new leader. It's taking the lead.
And Hershey and is that both?
It is Hershey and Davey.
Hershey and both the Astons were involved in a collision there.
Yeah, ASY is in the pit lane. So that's interesting. What tyre strategy is going to go on? But yeah, a lot of chaos happening already.
FVR Mally here on Snipes on the inside in turn 3. He's going to be on the...
Lewis spin it.
Outbreaks himself and hits ET8 Lewis, that is. And sends him into a spin.
Lewis a bit more bad luck this season.
Snipes managing to get past Mally, and but Mally though around the outside here, trying to hang it around. Couldn't really do it, and now Mally's under pressure from the Red Bull's Med TC, who completely did him around the outside there.
Yeah, don't count out Med TC as he's all over that gearbox of Zane, ready to make a move, and the Haas going, so the McLaren going slowly there. What has happened to Steph? Steph's got no front wing. Oh, hang on. There's a Mercedes. There's the leader. It's Etes. He's going slowly. I wonder if there's been a collision between him and Steph.
So look at this Med TC. He's looking to make a double overtake here as he's gone past Lickle, and now he's going on the inside of Saint Instow, and he makes the overtake work as Lickle piles into the pit. So I think we might have missed out on a couple of people getting damage at the front, Jared.
I think him and Steph may have had some contact as Steph's retired.
Mally, though, right on the back of Zane here. there is yellow in sector 3. I'm not sure what that
Steph
is
retired in
about.
the pits. That's why the yellows.
Alright.
I can't believe I'm saying this though. Murad's in the lead, Sandra, by 5/10.
Oh, you're right. Is he on mediums?
Yeah, he is on mediums, to be fair. But leading the race. First time this season, I believe, as well. So, it's got to be chuffed with that. But Zeno is feeling a bit of the pressure, but he's trying to stay within Med TC on the DRS range, since DRS should be enabled now. But we are going to go and jump to the action up front, because it looks like Marlon potentially could make a move on Ferenc. If he gets a good enough run, he gets a good entry through Chapel. On the hanger straight. He isn't close enough at the moment, and Cameron's in his own little world right now.
The lonely Haas.
The lonely Haas, and usually it would be Lickle who would be up there, but today it's Cameron. So he's got to be happy with that as Mad sets the fastest lap, 30.8.
Made a move on Julian. Julian is ghosting now.
Yeah, he's not in the session. This is AI.
Alright.
He retired in quali, I think, like when there was 16 minutes left and just left the session. So, then just didn't come back. Yeah, there's a bit of a gap forming though between Brand and Cameron, I've noticed as well. Gonna keep an eye on the fight for the lead as Hershey's overtaken Julian. So we'll see if there's any reason.
Oh, as AT goes into the back of Snipes after Wellington Straight. Send Snipes around and down the order.
Well, Snipes was the one who ran into the back end of Lewis, wasn't it?
I believe so, yeah.
Basically karma then, to be honest. In my own words.
Well,
But,
you could say so, but it wasn't AT he spun though.
that is true. He's up in 10th.
Talking about Lewis, he's managed to get himself within DRS range on Jax. He's going to be a bit too far behind to make any moves on the hanger straight this time. However, one of many drivers trying to recover in this race at this point. As, if I'm not mistaken there, Jared, almost looks a little like Ferenc is struggling to keep up with the front two right now.
He has dropped a bit of the pace,
Brand as well,
a tiny bit.
also struggling to keep up with the front four for that matter.
Yeah, which isn't good for Brand, because as soon as he gets out of that DRS range, he's going to be losing a chunk of time. And the only way he could get back into it is if they start slowing it down up ahead, which could happen, as Murad is on the mediums. But right now, you were right about Lewis catching up. Gap is 6/10 at the moment. He's challenging Jax as Lickle sets a new fastest lap of 30.7, as ASY has called it a day then, as retired in the pit lane. So that's one of the Astons out. And oh, hang on a minute, that is Hershey as well.
Hershey's around.
And Davey is trying to get past him.
I think Davey might have gotten an illegal.
Yeah, he's letting back through, it looks like. And a lot of people are getting penalties.
Oh, Lewis! Massive oversteer moment out of the S section.
That's right for Lewis. Says Mali still hasn't been able to get past Zane yet. And obviously I'm probably not going to be helping that. Matisi's also giving him DRS, but he's now out of it. Gap is 1.1, so it should be an easy overtake this lap. Unless he's just sitting behind.
How long are these mediums good for though, Jared? Do you know?
I'd say 14. Up to lap 14. The hards you can take them basically to the end from like lap 2 or lap 4 if you're good with your tyre wear. So the hards can go any distance. Obviously I would have more information on that, but if I remember correctly, a 13's race was wet. So, and I only lasted 10 laps. So,
Yeah, not to forget the fact that you're a dog as well, so...
well. I've raced in F3 before, you know. Still scored some points when I did race. But, enough about that.
You were a fill-in driver in F3, that's what you mean.
I still got points. Where's your F3 points? As Marlon is making
I was F3 the season before you were.
No, I disagree. Marlon is potentially making me with French now. Picked up the pace. French also picked up the pace as well to challenge the Ferrari.
Inside of Sane into Stove. Easy move there.
As I said, as soon as Medtc pulled out of Zane's DRS, Zane was in a lot of trouble, and now Zane's got a choice: go back on the attack to try and re-overtake, or just save your energy and go for attack later on in the race.
Well,
but there's a fight heating up.
I don't think it is a choice for Zane right now. With 8% battery to play around with, I think he's just gonna have to stick with Mali and save up some.
But right now, though, there is a fight kicking off. Top 5, all closing up on one another. And I have a weird feeling it's because Alex is... Ooh, Alex well. Made an error there. That's going to cost him a bit of time. Bit of a twitch there on the exit of that corner. As the Mercedes of Marlon is getting closer again to Ferenc. But he needs to get a good exit and probably use a bit of his energy if he wants to go for the overtake.
Struggling a bit right now to keep up here. A decent exit from Chapel from him though.
As Lico picks up a 3 second.
Marlon starting to get very close to the back end of Ferenc there.
Yeah, he's starting to reel him in.
And now MedTC has managed to get into the gap of Toxic Tomato.
Yeah, and Mali's back in the DRS range of him as well, so I don't know if MedTC's made a mistake or Cameron's made a mistake, because the gap from Cameron to Brand is now almost 4 seconds.
Looking at it, it looks like Toxic has been saving his DRS a little, while these others have been splashing it to catch up, so...
As I think Edward is going to retire now, I believe. As he did look like he caught a bit of a Chapel's corner. And yep, he's entering the pits.
Oh,
yeah, he's retiring.
I just noticed something, Jared. QRT Brand out of the DRS range now. He's gonna lose this train. They're slowly slipping away for him here.
That's true. But the fight right now, though, Ferenc, Boller, Marlon, all want a bit of the Williams up ahead.
Two drivers in that train with a big advantage right now as well. Marlon and Wallachongen both on almost 70% DRS, while the two others are in the mid-30s.
Yellow's in Sector 1, that's because of Lickle's AI.
And Brand somehow managed to just about get into the DRS range again.
Oh! Oh, sorry,
my bad.
I'm an idiot. I thought Cameron spun it, but it was Edward's AI. Pulled over.
Good one, Jared, good one.
I do entertain. But, yeah, Voller then is keeping up with Murad, and I'm very surprised, actually, as you were saying, Brand, though, is back in the DRS range, because I'd expect him, as soon as he's out of it, he's going to drop off.
Pretty much everything he had and managed to edge back in, but look at the gap, though, 9/10. He's going to struggle to stay in that gap.
Lewis has spun it. He's done a Massa, Felipe Massa then in 08.
This time though, Brand manages to stay inside the DRS.
And
Look at
look how
Marlon.
close. Yeah, they've surely got to make an overtake soon.
I don't know, at the moment it seems like everyone is happy with the pace Murad is setting, and so, well, Volla, he's sitting there saving up more and more ERS. Ferenc is using a little, but trying to save, I assume, as well.
Yeah, just some interesting information. The reason why Lico retired, Steph apparently stopped on the track, and that's what caused the crash. And speaking about crashes, Lewis has spun
and
it.
look at this, Marlon on the inside of Ferenc in turn 4. Now going on to the Wellington Straight. Ferenc manages to stay ahead, having the superior traction on the outside. But Marlon, though, poked his nose in, tried to figure a way through there.
Yeah, which I think is possibly a smart option to do. Let Ferenc and Valenois wants these guys to get a move on to get past Murad because he doesn't want to lose time in case the others from behind start catching up. Which they are. Cameron has closed the gap to Brand to 3.3, and Brand's actually closed up to Marlon. So they are getting caught from the guys behind slowly. Not as a threat at the moment, but could lead to a threat later on in the race.
You know, that might be, but you gotta take into account the ERS levels here, though, and Marlon and Vollagong, for example, both on 70 and almost 80% DRS, while those drivers behind are on closer to 20%, so these guys at front definitely have a little more to go on. They're just trying to wait before they use it.
Hold up. On lap number 11. Not that far from the medium's pit window. As well as try to pull away from the Red Bull. Try to get closer to the Williams, which he is doing. There's also another fight kicking off as well in the background. It's between Cameron, MedTC, Mali, Zane, and the other Mercedes.
Well, look at this, MedTC and Toxic side by side, heading down towards Stowe. No, none of them seem to want to back out, however. Toxic, though, backs out, trying to go for a switchback, it almost looks like.
Yeah, but Cameron hitting that front wing, hit the back of the Red Bull. Doubt it's giving him damage. But
I might have avoided it.
Oh, rear end slidey as well. And so it looks like Mali's potentially going to go for an overtake. No, Cameron's going for it.
Oh, but look at this though.
Around the outside, nowhere. Is he going to be able to pull this off? He's trying to switch back. Gets traction on the exit.
No,
he's got to buy his time. Oh, hits him though. Oh, that could have ended in tears.
Good car control from MedTC there.
Oh, Mali picks up a 3 second. Now these guys have got to watch out for Lewis's AI because it will not ghost. Which doesn't look at Cameron very optimistic, trying to go for the inside there, but MedTC saw it, closed the door. Cameron can't make it work at the moment. As the fight for the lead is still heating up. Marlon now, almost under a tenth on the Red Bull.
It is still very close, but nobody able to really make a move. Obviously, they would probably be able to make a move, but they would probably have to melt their whole DRS to do so, and that's something none of them seem willing to do.
Yeah, not at this time being, but surely one of them's going to have to make the move soon.
But what about Alex though? Is he going to pit anytime soon? Not yet, at least.
Yeah, we've got to count that into play, but hang on. Marlon's in.
Oh, that's a early stop. It's
Mediums can go to the end from here.
probably realized that it's difficult to make any overtakes right now, so he's gonna try to make the undercut work.
Cameron in as well. See if he has any damage to the front wing, as there's no overtakes at the moment. We'll keep an eye on that.
And Vola is realizing this, and he's now pounding on the pressure on Morad as he makes an easy overtake at the Wellington Straight. As soon as he realizes he have to do something, he puts on the pressure on Morad, gets past, and now he's gonna try to make this overcut stick.
Yeah, he's obviously, if he's pitting a slap, he needs to gain as much time as he can. But if he stays out too long, like an extra lap or 2 laps, it's going to cost him the position and time, because
I just realized,
Britain's got a short pit road.
He might have gone for the undercut, but he looks like he's going to end up having some traffic here as well.
Which could hurt him, but it could also benefit him, because he's going to get DRS. Waller's not getting DRS.
But let's see then, Volokongen in the lead.
Doesn't pit.
He's going to go for another lap.
Could be a mistake, that, as Britain's got the slowest pit lane.
Gerard goes for another lap, same with Ferenc, same with Brand.
TC's in. And Marlon's teammates, maybe that's why.
Marlon having to get past Davy here. Davy though, however, he's not taking it laying down. He's gonna fight Marlon, and this might be why Volokongen has stayed out. Realizes that ending up in traffic could also cost him greatly, which, to be fair to Marlon, it
28.
might cost him a little this.
It's 28.6. Now, I can't remember what the pit window is.
Now Marlon, next one for Marlon to pass is Hershey. After that he'll have clean air. Oh, Marlon, he's gonna go right down the inside in this corner. However, that might not be the smartest move.
No, he's got DRS.
Oh, but look though, Hershey has no traction whatsoever out of that corner.
Yeah, Marlon's probably realised the pressure. I think Marlon's probably realised the pressure he's under, but I still think he's going to be ahead of Vola by maybe a second. But right now, though, Ferenc making a move for second. Passes Murad for third. So Murad drops to third then, and Brand not that far off.
Let's see now then. Volokongen stays out another lap.
Brand and Ferenc are in though.
But Murad.
Yeah, I don't. It's a bit interesting. His tyres, we can see they are starting to go. But
how many laps do the softs go here?
There's not. Well, probably 6 at best. I don't know about the softs, to be honest. So hang on, there's yellows though. That's a Ferrari. It lets me select him. It's Jabraka.
Yeah, it would be Jabraka.
Why is he not accelerating? No, he's letting the Mercedes, the McLaren, and the Aston through. And yeah, look at the gap though, Sandra. Look where Ferenc is, and look where Marlon is. And remember, Ferenc wasn't that far off Lockand, so it's Vola's made a huge miscalculation right now. He's going to be behind potentially Ferenc and Brand the way this is going to go unless he pits.
What he's actually doing here though, because I'm confused about why he didn't go in on the last lap at least.
He's confused this whole season with his strategies, to be honest.
Well, that is a good point, but Morado completely lost the Vola here.
Yeah, gap's now 2.5. Vola has burned all of his ERS though, to be fair. It's going to be close, and he is in.
Into the pit now. I reckon we might see soft tires there, Jared.
There's no way softs. I know it's Vola and he probably could do it. I don't think it.
Softs can definitely go 10 laps. I don't know if they'll be good for 10 laps, but...
Oh, Mali's picked up a 5-second in the pits.
But he must have gone these extra laps for a reason.
No, he's got mediums.
Mediums?
I don't know, maybe for the fresher mediums or something, but it's a very weird call.
Must be them.
And he's just...
on the other hand, he is still staying out.
Maybe all before a safety car, potentially. Marlon has already overtaken him. What about Ferenc?
Yes, but what about Ferenc? Ferenc is still behind. A good in-lap from Walla there.
But he has closed. The gap was a second. It's less than that. And Voller's got to heat his tyres up. Ferenc don't, and just you can tell straight away he's going to potentially go for the move on the inside. Voller's got to give him the room he does, and he's already side by side. And Voller was leader, well, the net leader. He's now into third, but he's coming back at him. Can't make it work. So there's yellows, and that is Zane who has spun it in 13th. Metisi moves to 9th, passing Jabraka there. And they're still going side by side. And Cameron's also in this mix. He's got a brilliant run going around the outside. Is he going to make it work? Around the outside through Cops Corner. He's going for it. And he's got it done. What an overtake there. And moves to 10th.
Oh, Ferenc has tried to break DRS with Voila. He's not been able to though. And now he's on no ERS at all.
I might have to cut you off. Is Cameron going to go around the outside of TC this time? Gets a good run again. Right in his gearbox. He's got to send it if he wants to get the position. No, he decides to let him make a mistake. Run deep. Go around the outside. A bit of banging, wheel banging there. But TC keeps the position for now. As Cameron is on a mission to get past these two. But yeah, so I don't think the strategy for Voller was the best. He's in 5th, net 3rd.
Yeah, no, I don't think so either. I'm just confused about why he did it. But
what about Alex though? 16 laps on medium tyres.
well, it's clear what he's doing at this point. He's now just staying out, hoping for
So lower
a
safety
car, because
he's losing way too much time.
How long is the pit lane again here? Isn't it
genuinely
around, like 28 seconds or something?
It's probably around that, yeah, 28 to 27, somewhere around that. The gap to Voller already to the leader's 24.
He'd be coming out round
Mali and then TC. Yeah, around about there at the moment.
So
and he's in.
Losing more and more, but
he is in as Mali and Davey switching positions.
Snipes probably also staying out, just hoping for a safety car at this point.
Yeah, I think.
As he could have gone on to a set of mediums, which
interesting.
obviously can't.
That's good. Oh yeah, he's on mediums. Well, he's going to go for fast lap then as well. So fast lap to beat is from Marlon at 1:28.6. He's the only driver in the 28s, while everybody else is on the 30s. So.
As Morard comes out behind Jabraka and that train, he comes out right next
though.
to AT.
Oh, hang on, Davey's slowing down. Why is he slowed down? Yeah, why is Davey slowing down? He's not going full throttle on the straights and he's just letting everybody through. Wonder if he's going to call it a day. Yeah, he's using his energy. He's not going full throttle. He's like using 90%, maybe 95 at most. Now he's going full throttle. I don't know what he was doing there. And Marlon's already caught Snipes. Gap's 1.7. And it's already made a move on Jabraka then. Jabraka drops to 9th. Sorry, drops to 10th. Morad potentially is looking for an overtake as Jabraka's in the pits.
So.
Well, he is making a scheduled stop as well.
Oh yeah.
Well, he's actually retiring. I wonder if him and Davey have had a bit of contact. I think that's what's happened. As well, we're going to go for the fight for second. Sorry, fight for second, net second, but the fight for third at the moment between Brand Valoch and Ferenc.
Ooh, small moment from Ferenc there. Brandt still in this fight as well, Jared.
Yeah, I did mention him as well. These three, they're all in this fight, and he's doing a very good job. To be fair on him.
However, though, looking at the first stint and how these guys drove, I would say that Volla is probably the quickest one out of these three right now.
Yeah, I'd say second quickest on track. Obviously, the quickest one on track is Marlon, the only guy in the 28s, while everybody else is on the 30s. Volla is picking up the pace, but you can just see how much time Ferenc lost to Marlon alone, Sondra, 5.3. So,
yeah.
Very good strategy call there.
I'm a bit baffled, to be honest, how they all got caught out as much as they did. Get caught out by one lap, sure, yes. Like, it's difficult to predict exactly when somebody's gonna pit, but all these guys stayed out more than one lap more than Marlon, so it's confusing.
So what happens as, Murad, who was the leader of the race, most of the race, is in ninth. And he's trying to catch up with Cameron, who's 2.7 seconds up the road. So he lost a chunk of time staying out. As Ferenc is doing a good job to pull away from Volla, but Vola's trying to reel him in as best as he can. On lap 20 out of 26, there's still enough time to catch Marlon.
Marlon, who's right on the back of Snipes there now.
Well, Cameron's past Med TC. Keep an eye out.
Med TC though, Med TC is gonna try to defend. I don't think he's gonna be able to. As we see Marlon go straight past him.
Did you just say Med TC was trying to defend that, Sandra?
That might have been, I meant Snipes if I did, but...
Yeah, that is... I think you got a bit confused when I said Med TC when Cameron overtook him. I was a bit confused there because I was on board with Med TC. I was like, who's he defending against? Oh yeah, Snipes then dropped to second.
Shadow.
Definitely. David up picks up 5 seconds and he's called it a day. I think all the retirements of everybody retiring in the pits, which is not a way to end the season.
Well, I know. I mean, some of these guys, Davey and stuff, I believe, got caught up in some stuff on the first lap, and they probably just stuck in it in case of a safety car. But at this point, they've just come to the realization that it's not going to happen, and they're not going to get any points. So then they've just called it a day, I think.
True. As Cameron and MTC keep scrapping away, I keep missing their overtakes. But I've also noticed, Sondre, guess who's also in this fight for net second? Mali. Mali's actually come out of nowhere. And remember, this guy was 3 seconds.
I mean, he is, yes, but I don't really count in it right now, as he's on 8% ERS, while Brand is on 62, Volla's on 84, Friends is on 48. These guys, like, they've been driving, but honestly, it hasn't really looked like they've tried to actually catch up to Marlon.
True, but still, gotta say, Mali was 3 seconds.
Just looks like they're aiming on second, and
that's it.
Just trying to. Obviously, Ferenc is trying to save to be able to actually defend. Volla is saving to be able to attack, and so on. Same with Brand.
Maybe, but he has caught them, and he's showing some pace now, which is good.
Oh, he is indeed. I just think when these three ahead of him starts to unleash their ERS, that it'll be difficult for Mali to do anything.
I'm thinking the next couple of laps, to be honest. I think probably lap 24. I think Volla will go for it.
It'll start around that area.
Oh, there is yellows. That is the Williams of Jack's going slowly.
We can see here actually now Friends using a little, Volla using a little, same with Brand, same with Mali. However, he doesn't have much more to use. So it seems to be starting already about now, Jared.
Yeah, maybe they feel the pressure of Mali getting in this position to potentially get a better
I'm not sure
result.
if it's about that. I think it's more about Volla trying to get Ferenc to use his ERS.
Yeah, but no, we could have a Jeddah scenario again, if you remember that, where one of the drivers on the final corner lost control and caused a bit of a collision for a couple of the drivers, and same with Imola as well.
Oh, look at this, Volla getting close, Ferenc having to spend some.
On this side, he's just
Volla
letting him know.
peeking down the inside there.
Maybe he's going to go for a lap earlier then, than what I said.
Well, he seems confident in his pace, so maybe. Something I've also noticed right now, Marlon is starting to lose time. It's not going to be enough laps for him to be able to lose this gap anyway, but...
No, I think he's just cruising along.
Oh, I don't think he's cruising. I just think he's not pushing, and well, he also doesn't have as much ERS anymore, as he used that to pull this gap, which was the right move. So
Yep, and we can already see the soft tyres already dying for Murad, drops back to 9th. They've only been 5 laps. So,
and now it's looking like Brand is struggling a tiny bit to actually keep with Volla and Ferenc.
it's going to be very close
Mali,
between
though,
these two.
as you mentioned earlier, all over the back of Brand.
Yeah, and his energy stayed the same. He's kept using a little bit of it time to time again. Snipes picked up the new fastest lap, 28.6. Still up, Marlon's the only other driver to be in the 28.6s. Wow, I actually have just noticed that. Marlon has the fastest lap, did have the fastest lap, but Snipes beat that lap by 5 thousandths of a second on a different tyre compound. So that just proves how quick Marlon has been this race. Right now, though,
I think we're
yeah,
going
he's
to
got to
see an
go for it.
attack from Volla here down the
Yeah,
hanger straight.
he's using his energy.
Getting close, using this ERS, closing up to Ferenc. Ferenc, though, manages to stay ahead, but I think Ferenc might be running out of his ERS soon. Brand also in the background there, waiting for an opportunity.
Yeah, lap 25 then. Plenty of laps remaining. Not plenty of laps remaining, there's only 2 laps. Most. This next lap.
Volla close on the rear of Ferenc here.
Oh, bad
bit
exit.
of a moment onto Wellington Straight. That could be crucial for Ferenc.
Good benefit Brand here though as well.
You can see Volla and Ferenc taking completely different lines here.
Well, see which line is better. But I think Marlon's going to
Through
wait.
Pops. Look at this gap, Jared. 2/10 separating them now.
A 10th from Mali though and Brand, so it's very close as well in the background.
Ferenc ahead, but Volla pressuring Ferenc there. 0.3 of a second going on to Hanger Straight. They're unleashing their ERS now. We can see that Ferenc, he's out of it now. He still has one more lap to do. And at this point, Jared, I do think Marlon is just cruising around now. We can see the gap going down very quickly.
It is 2.7.
You never know. Maybe he's trying to have a small peek at the battle at the end of the lap. Friends with a good exit onto Wellington Straight, but Vola is not having it. He's pressuring Ferenc for the outside here, as Ferenc is pushing him as wide as he can there.
Look at Brand on the outside. Has he got the traction on him though? Oh, this could end in tears. Oh, very close. But I think Ferenc might be in a bit of trouble now. Brand's got 40% ERS.
He's got one more straight where he'll have to defend. Right now, Brand with the big ERS advantage. However, he's going to have to pass 2 cars for that second place. Now, let's see then. Ferenc making his move. Now, Vola, he's going to take to the outside a bit. I think we might have seen a couple of moves from Ferenc there. However, he stays ahead.
But look at Brand, he's on the inside, trying to go for it. But Marlon's going to take the victory. Britain, what a drive there from Marlon, unstoppable.
Oh, Brand almost crashes in the final corner. Loses his position on track 2. Mali, but penalties keeps
penalties have changed it.
4th.
Yeah, AT's then moves to 5th, MTC 6th, Murad 7th, Mali drops to 8th then. Cameron finishes in 9th then. Was looking for a higher result, but still gets 9th, still gets points on the final round. Zayn in 10th and Jax finishes in 11th with Snipes 12th. Hershey, final driver to come across the line since Julian isn't in the lobby. But what a season it's been this year. And Hershey's going to be disappointed with that result, but he finished the final race, so he's got to be happy with that. But what a race yet again, Sandra. Final couple of laps, kicking it off.
Indeed.
As the reason why Steph actually had some front wing damage was due to a glitch, Sandra. One of the cars desynced and it made contact with it and it just stopped his car. So that's why Steph had no front wing and retired. So great game from Codis as usual. But man who was unbeaten this season, Marlon, wins the championship, won the constructors and wins at Britain. He's got to be happy with that. And what a result for him this season. Looked like Shane was going to win the drivers, but Shane got beat in the end. But there we go. The season is over then.
I don't think Shane even did half the races. So.
Nah, in the end,
it's difficult to fight a title fight if you're not there for it. So.
No, but I think at the start of the season he was the main man for it, to be honest. And
he looked like it. He looked quick most cases, but he fell off a little and then.
Well, he didn't fall off. His wheel got broken, so I don't count that as falling off.
But he didn't look as quick in the last few races he did as the first race.
Oh, true. That is true. Maybe the guys in this state picked up the pace a tiny bit. But enough of that. Well, and then here is our unofficial results. Penalties or stupid results may change it. Don't know about that yet. But Marlon then does take the victory with Ferenc in 2nd, Vola in 3rd, Brown 4th, Itis in 5th, Metisi in 6th, Murad 7th, Mali in 8th, Cameron then finishes in 9th, Zayn 10th, Jax in 11th, Snipes 12th, Hershey 13th, Julian, Davey, Jabraka, Lewis, Lickle, ASY and Steph all DNF'd from today's race. But as I said, what a race today, and what a way to end the season. But before we close down the stream, Sondre, have you got anything to say?
Not really, to be honest.
Fair enough then. Well then, I've been your commentator, IRL Neon, or as Jared Fosbury. Been joined in the booth by the OAP himself, Mr. Sondre Soaug. Hopefully we'll be commentating over F3 next season. But until then, goodbye for now and see you next time.